Up tonight.
I'm Kathy Walsh. He struck again this weekend. There is a rapist stalking women in northern Oakland County. Tonight I'll have a report on how women here are reacting and how they can protect themselves from danger.
Saddam Hussein says he is going to more than double his troop strength in Kuwait.
Chances are some of the fruit and vegetables you'll buy this winter will come from Mexico. We'll explain why that could make them hazardous to your health.
And this child is already learning how to improve her memory, even at this age. Tonight, we're going to show you how to improve your child's memory. The story's coming up next.
Miss Caitlin Phillips demonstrates the loading of a Fuji Discovery compact camera. Like most Fuji Discovery cameras, Caitlin's comes complete with autofocus, auto flash, and one more feature you can't get on any other make of camera, Fuji's drop-in loading. So now you can load a roll of film faster than you can get it out of the box. Fuji cameras with drop-in loading. Fuji, a new way of seeing things.
Tis the season to be sharing. Let's go Kroger-ing. Friends and family giving caring. Let's go Kroger-ing. Give the best of everything.
Feel the spirit this holiday season as the folks at Kroger wish you the very best of everything.
Let's go Kroger-ing. Let's go Kroger-ing. Let's go Kroger-ing.
Guys will do anything to get a hold of a great flannel shirt. So, if you loan one out, better kiss it goodbye. Let my brother borrow my red one. Now it lives in another state, thank you very much. So never loan your flannel shirts.
Honey, can I borrow this?
Oh, sure thing, hon.
Thanks.
That's okay. I know where she lives.
High Sierra, only at Mervyn's, for the clothes you love to live in.
And now, get the facts from Rich Fisher and Joe Glover. This is TV2 Eyewitness News at 11.
We've always been cautioned about being away from our homes, you know, to be aware of our surroundings and those people close to us, but we've never had to be afraid in our own homes, and now it appears we have to.
A masked rapist has attacked for the 10th time in northern Oakland County, and he is picking the one place where women feel safe, the home. Good evening, I'm Joe Glover.
And I'm Rich Fisher, and that is our top story tonight. There is fear in North Oakland County tonight. Porch lights are on. Deadbolts have been installed in an area where some people usually don't even bother to lock their doors. The North Oakland County serial rapist has struck for the 10th time. Kathy Walsh has reaction and some tips for self-protection.
As night falls in Brandon Township, kids frolic on their front lawns. The smell of fall's last leaves burning hangs in the air, and so does fear. Tammy McGowan stands watch at her apartment building where a 14-year-old was raped early Sunday morning.
It's really scaring everybody. I think they're going to start moving away. I did. I looked for other apartments today.
According to police, the North Oakland County rapist is likely responsible for 5 attempts and 5 sexual assaults since May. The latest attack hits close to home for Tammy. The young victim lives right downstairs. The man broke in this apartment at 1 a.m. Sunday morning. He used a credit card to jimmy open the door. He then went into the victim's bedroom. He tied her up. He put a towel in her mouth, and he threatened to kill her if she screamed. This building is next door to Tammy's building. A woman here was assaulted September 16th. She says tonight the rapist paid her another visit late Saturday night, but this time he didn't get in, so he apparently went next door instead.
If he thinks that there's easy access or that this person can be overpowered easily, then that is going to be the potential victim.
Joyce Wright has spoken to all the girls at Brandon High at the principal's request. She will conduct a program for the boys this week. Though the rapist has hit several times in Brandon Township, he's also traveled to Oxford Township. A 34-year-old woman was raped here early Saturday morning. Most of the attacks are occurring in apartments. The victims are single women. Many live alone.
Hey, you have control.
Lisa Moore is fighting back. She is a single woman living alone in Oakland County in an apartment complex. But after 4 years of self-defense classes, she will be ready mentally and physically if she ever has to defend herself.
If he surprises you in bed, go for his eyes or his throat. It's gruesome, but it's brutal and effective.
Tammy McGowan and her neighbors are hoping the task force set up by the Sheriff's Department to catch the rapist succeeds, so they don't have to wonder if their efforts to defend themselves would be successful or not. In Brandon Township, Kathy Walsh, TV2 Eyewitness News.
Well, here's what we know about the suspect. He is described as a white male between the ages of 25 and 35. He has maybe a medium to muscular build, brown hair, and yes, as we mentioned, he often wears a ski mask. Detroit police are holding a 25-year-old man in the murder of a 74-year-old woman on the city's east side. Police say the woman was found today at her home in the 15,000 block of Cedar Grove. She was stabbed in the neck. Police are not releasing the name of the woman or the suspect.
Iraq's Saddam Hussein says he will be sending 250,000 more troops to Kuwait. They will be added to the 170,000 Iraqi troops already in Kuwait and the 250,000 in southern Iraq. The troop buildup announcement comes just one day after Hussein said he will free the estimated 2,000 Westerners who are still hostage in Iraq and Kuwait if nothing takes place to mar the atmosphere of peace in the region. Hussein is said to be very concerned about the U.S. troop buildup in the area because there will be calm, cool weather in the desert between now and the spring sandstorms. And in Paris, President Bush and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev have reached an agreement that force cannot be ruled out to break Iraq's grip on Kuwait. But the Soviet leader stopped short of endorsing a possible UN resolution authorizing military force. Gorbachev and Bush are in Paris for the signing of a treaty between members of NATO and the Warsaw Pact, which effectively ends the Cold War.
Meanwhile, in New York, a group of lesbians and gays called Queer Nation use bold actions like kiss-ins to draw attention to the discrimination they face. But members of a new chapter of Queer Nation forming in Metro Detroit say they will use less overt measures. The group met tonight in Ferndale. Their goals include public awareness of gay and lesbian issues, as well as trying to stop so-called gay bashing.
Basic message behind Queer Nation is that we're mad as hell about being discriminated against, and we don't aim to put up with it anymore.
The group is thinking about holding a candlelight vigil in the near future in honor of local victims of gay bashing. Joe?
Here's a look now at some of the stories making headlines tonight. Arizona Senator Dennis DeConcini says he's not only innocent, he is being picked on. The Democrat says there was nothing sinister about his meetings with Michigan Senator Donald Regal over Charles Keating's troubled savings and loan. DeConcini maintains that he and Regal were only trying to help a constituent who had large investments in their states. The hearings involving Regal, DeConcini, and 3 other senators are expected to continue for several weeks. This afternoon, the Atlantis astronauts found themselves all dressed up with no place to go. They had already put on their suits to get ready for today's homecoming when the landing was canceled because of high winds at California's Edwards Air Force Base. The astronauts may try again to make their landing. The braided duo Milli Vanilli has been stripped of its 1989 Grammy. The two never sang a word on their Girl You Know It's True album that sold 7 million copies. Tomorrow, for the first time since the news broke, Milli Vanilli will tell their story. We'll hear it in their own words at a news conference in Los Angeles. It is the first time a Grammy has ever been taken away.
Well, your mother probably always told you to eat all your vegetables. Fresh fruits and vegetables, of course, are low in fat and very rich in vitamins. But now some consumer groups are raising concerns about the safety of the fresh food we eat. Sherry Margolis explains in her special report, Eat Your Vegetables at Your Own Risk.
Today, health-conscious Americans are changing their eating habits.
Less red meat, more poultry, more fish, more fresh fruits and vegetables.
We eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, and we enjoy them more, and I find that I can use them more differently than I ever thought I could before.
There was a time when you could only get fresh produce in season, but today we're lucky. Now you can get a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables year-round. Nationwide, we consume 134 billion pounds of produce every year.
And to satisfy that demand, from now until spring, the produce you choose will come from fields far away. Growers estimate that 50% of the winter produce consumed in the U.S. and Canada comes from Mexico. Mexican farms produce bell peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, berries, and melons that keep our store shelves stocked all winter long. But now, Mexican growers worry about losing their most lucrative market. Consumer groups say that growers use chemicals banned in the U.S. and that Mexican fruits and vegetables contain pesticide residues with levels higher than permitted by the U.S. government.
EPA does a very poor job of looking at inventorying the pesticides that are actually used outside the borders of the United States.
I feel very comfortable that we can safely say that the food products coming into this country are safe.
What we have found is that, in general, most, if not all, foreign produce that is tested by the United States government meets American government standards. Having said all that, the American government and the American food industry is concerned, because the American consumer is concerned, that we can do a better job.
But how effective is the FDA in monitoring produce from Mexico and other countries? One study says inspectors can only sample 1% of all produce shipments coming into the U.S. Adrian Garcia is one of just 2 FDA inspectors working at the border checkpoint in Nogales, Arizona. By the end of November, up to 800 trucks a day cross the border, far more than Garcia and his partner can inspect. They do, however, take random samples that they send to the FDA testing lab in L.A.
It's based on quotas, so many samples a day.
This farmer says he uses pesticides with brand names like Monitor, Ambush, and Thiodon to control insects. These compounds have been approved by the FDA, but other Mexican farmers use chemicals that have been banned by the U.S.
We have laws that are intended to establish thresholds of safety, and they are simply not being applied to imported food.
Sherry Margolis, TV2 Eyewitness News.
Well, some consumer groups say that pesticides banned in the U.S. are being exported to Mexico, and ironically, they're used on crops that are then shipped back into the U.S. We found that experts couldn't tell us how much pesticide-treated produce is too much. That depends, they say, on the kinds of sprays used and how often they were applied. Tomorrow, Sherry will look at what you can do to minimize the risks.
And coming up here on Eyewitness News, do you have trouble remembering things? Well, maybe too late for you, but we're going to show you how to keep your children from becoming forgetful in a TV2 special report, Total Recall.
I'm David Rogers. Not much sunshine today, but tomorrow's a different story. I'll have complete details coming up next.
And the missing snake at the University of Michigan dorm has, yes, there he is. He's turned up alive and well. We'll have that story. Stay with us.
Oh, good.
Dear Toro, your new CCR Powerlight snow thrower reveals a total disregard for the small businessman. A snow thrower that weighs 36 pounds, it handles a foot of snow? What happened to fair trade? Free enterprise? Be assured, if you continue to sell the new CCR Powerlight snow thrower, you leave me no choice. You will be hearing from my mom.
Get great savings on the new Toro Powerlight snow thrower at these dealers.
You're looking at the lowest priced American car, the new Dodge Shadow America, only $76.99. Or you can lease a 91 Shadow America for as little as $157.56 a month with nothing down. Plus, we've got hundreds of other Shadows in stock, all with 40 standard features like a driver's airbag, great highway mileage, our famous 770 protection plan, and much more. So whether you buy or lease, welcome home to your Dodge dealer, where it's Advantage Dodge.
See Dick Scott Dodge, Plymouth, Century Dodge, Taylor, or Garrity Dodge, Hamtramck.
You know, Vern, times like this are so special. Like our relationship with those folks at ABC Warehouse. We can count on ABC Warehouse for those great low prices on name brand appliances, TVs, VCRs, and stereos that are the closest thing to wholesale and make living so much more enjoyable. Shall I carve? What'll it be, Vern? Light or dark?
Get this RCA VHS full-size camcorder for only $578 or less.
On a first date, you should wear a shirt that looks nice without looking like it's trying too hard. A shirt that'll last, which tells your date, hey, this guy's not afraid of a long-term relationship. A shirt that's soft, inside and outside, in case someone decides to give it a hug. It could happen.
High Sierra, only at Mervyn's, for the clothes you love to live in.
A well-known fact that if the fall is mild, the winter could be mild also. Let's hope that happens.
Let's hope so, huh? Because we're off to a pretty good start, though. I mean, today wasn't too bad. Temperatures did get a little above normal. Tomorrow looks a whole lot better. Plenty of sun, and temperatures getting back into the 50s. 49 was our afternoon high today. Normal is right around 46 degrees, and there's the City of Detroit's Christmas tree just around the corner. 29 was our morning low, so a cold one. So far, no precip to report officially at Detroit Metro Airport. Around the region, numbers are looking real good thanks to a nice southerly flow. Right now, 42 here in Southfield, 33 at Mount Clemens, kind of the cool spot. 39 degrees currently at City, and Metro seeing a temperature of 37. As we put the weather into motion, you can see that jet now starting to recede a little bit to the north. And as that happens, well, we're going to start to see the warmer temperatures moving across southern Michigan. That will help take the temperatures up to about 56 degrees tomorrow. Already a lot of the cloud cover is now moving out as we take a look at our satellite close-up picture. Mainly clear skies across most of the state, and that'll be our trend tomorrow. Most of the big weather activity for at least the next 24 to 36 hours is going to be occurring out west, and you can see all the clouds associated with that. Some areas across the Rocky Mountain region expected to see up to a foot of snow. Great news for skiers out there. Winds have already been clocked at about 60 to 70 miles per hour across some parts of Utah. And all this activity is going to kind of merge together and move across the nation, probably reaching the Detroit metro area as early as late Wednesday. Now, the good thing about it is as it moves eastward, it will be weakening, so we're not looking for any major storms, but we are going to see some clouds moving in. Again, tomorrow's looking pretty good, thanks to a nice area of high pressure off to our south. It's southerly wind bringing up a lot of the warmer temperatures, but by Thanksgiving Thursday, it looks like we could start to see some changes as some of the rain tapers off in the early morning hours. Cooler weather starts to move in, dropping temperatures down into the 40s, and a small chance for some snow showers just off to our north. So with that in mind, here's your forecast for the rest of the evening. Partly cloudy tonight, 33, so not as cold as this morning. Then for tomorrow, partly sunny, a great day, 56 for the afternoon high. Looking to the future, calls for some pretty good weather on Wednesday, early sunshine, but we'll see clouds moving in early. 59 and 40. Thursday, some showers and falling temperatures. And Friday and Saturday, although it's going to be cool, we'll still see a fair amount of sunshine. Temperatures generally in the lower 40s. So let's hope on a mild winter.
I hope he's right.
Yeah,
It would be nice, but this is Michigan.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Thank you, David. Coming up next, how many times do you find yourself trying to remember where you put something or trying to remember someone's name?
Sounds like me. TV2 health editor Kay Lowry doesn't want your kids to be as forgetful as so she's going to show you how to improve their memory. That's coming up just a minute. Also tonight.
Bad tidings again and again at home for the Red Wings. Ahead in sports.
JCPenney's Eastland Mall store has been totally remodeled. To celebrate, you save up to 50% at every store during the JCPenney Eastland Celebration Sale.
We've taken down our last several sutures.
Good to see you again. This is your third treatment. You're getting to be a real pro at this.
Hold perfectly still and try to relax. You won't feel a thing. The whole procedure takes...
Wake up, Mr. Murdoch. Mr. Murdoch, wake up. How do you feel? You're doing just fine.
Oakwood is advanced medicine. Call 1-800-543-WELL for the name of a physician on our staff.
Presenting the London Fog Wool Coat.
My coat is made of wool. Wool from London Fog. You heard me right, don't have a fright. It keeps me warm both day and night. It's wool from
London Fog Wools, now with Hudson's, $239.99 value plus.
I've got so many guests coming up on my party this week. I bet my announcer that he couldn't get all their names in 30 seconds. Ready? Go.
Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Robert De Niro, Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, Harry Hamlin, George Carlin, New Kids on the Block, Living Color, and Jody Watley. It all starts with Jacqueline Bissett, Delta Burke, Gerald McRaney, plus musical guest Surface.
Just in time for my line. Be here for the next Arsenio Hall show.
Hollywood's hottest stars, 12:30 tonight on TV.
1990, a record-setting year at Mazda. The Miata, The new Navajo. Thousands of new owners feeling just right. It's your turn now. You can save with factory-to-dealer incentives. Save with special options packages. Save up to $25.75. Mazda, there's no stopping us now. With deals like these, there's no stopping you.
At Seaway Mazda, Ann Arbor Mazda, Fisher Mazda, and Metro Mazda, now.
A better memory for your child could mean better grades on the next report card, and there are steps you can take at home to help him or her improve. TV2 Health Editor Kay Lowry is here now with her special report, Total Recall, and information that hopefully us parents may find helpful. Kay?
Well, I found out that researchers are studying memory from several perspectives, how it develops in childhood, and why as adults we seem to lose some of our ability to remember. If you have trouble remembering phone numbers or where you put your keys, you're not alone.
Sometimes I dial the number and I can't remember who I've called until they answer.
Most adults say their memories are not as good as they once were.
By the time I walk upstairs, I'll forget what I went up there for.
Researchers have given it a name. They call it age-associated memory impairment. AAMI can begin at a fairly young age.
It's not unusual to see these gradual changes begin in the 30s. Even in the 20s in some cases, and then progress in a general linear fashion throughout life.
Think of the brain as a piece of electrical equipment. Scientists don't know why some of the circuits or nerve cells begin wearing down as we age. These physical changes may explain gradual memory loss. But is it inevitable? Consider what happened in an experiment with laboratory rodents. When the animals were stimulated by an enriched environment, there were physical changes in their brains. Researchers found new connections between the nerve cells. That may also be true for humans.
People who remain active, who read, who use their minds, who exercise, who use their their mental capacities like their physical capacities, are going to lose less than would be the case with someone who simply doesn't.
Memory begins at birth.
Look, let's hide it. Look over here. Ooh, there it is. Find it. Get the cracker.
Dr. Hilary Ratner is researching the development of memory in babies and young children at Wayne State University and the Merrill Palmer Institute. A typical child at 12 months of age can remember where objects are hidden.
We showed 4 or 5 different locations, and she was able to remember where the object went out of all of those different locations.
But look what happens during the next year of life. Having acquired language, a 24-month-old toddler does well on a much more complicated memory test, remembering where more than a half dozen objects go.
Very good.
But is there a link between memory and intelligence? And the question most parents wonder, is there anything that can be done to enhance a child's memory? Dr. Ratner says memory skills contribute to intellectual development.
A bear, that's right.
Since younger children remember actions and objects much better than words, she says parents should work with children on their verbal memories.
And the way that you can do that is by engaging the child in conversation, asking them questions about what they've done, maybe about what they're going to do, what they've been reading.
The preliminary results of Dr. Radner's current research show that when adults play in conversation with children just a couple of times a week, it does promote the children's memory skills. Now, tomorrow we're going to look at the possibility of a cure for failing memories in pill form. I went to a memory clinic just outside of Washington, D.C., where they're testing memory pills.
Memory pills?
Memory in a bottle.
You know, I bought one of those memory books once. I'm going to read it, but I forgot what I did with it. So I might, sorry about that. We'll look forward to tomorrow's. Thanks, Kate.
Joe? Of course, you both remember the snake story
yes,
from last
of course.
week. Residents in the University of Michigan dorm are resting easier tonight, knowing that a 4-foot python that escaped 10 days ago was captured today. The snake, named Dog, escaped when his owners, a couple of freshmen, let him slither on the floor just for exercise. The snake crawled through a hole in the radiator and had been missing ever since. The dog was discovered sleeping on a pile of wood in a storage area. The snake's owners were kicked out of the dorm for illegally keeping a pet on campus.
Of course, Eli is unforgettable. He's here. The Red Wings played tonight. Another brother act going at it. The two coaches. And Brian didn't do too well tonight, huh?
Wings made a little comeback, but no points for a comeback. This is now 6 losses in their last 7 games. Wings should be handling teams like the Caps at home. Washington, though, breaks a 5-game losing streak with their 3-2 win here tonight. First Cap goal, though, a fluke on a power play. Chris Felix shot goes off the backboards, but watch it caroms to where Peter Bondra pokes it behind Tim Shovelday. Wings lead Norwood. 23 gets his stick jammed between the net and somewhere in the center of his body. Norwood in great pain after being nearly impaled. Oof. Late in the 3rd period, Yves Racine forces it across the blue line. Jimmy Carson gathers the loose puck, scores past Jim Rivnak with 4:30 left. That sends it to overtime. But in the OT, scramble in the Wings, and you'll see John Druce from nearly prone on the ice, wheels there and fires the winner. The Wings lose a tough one at home. Elsewhere, Rangers tie Minnesota. Boston beats Toronto, and the same score, Montreal over Quebec. Michigan State beats the Latvian national team 107-85 tonight. Steve Smith 31, Matt Steginga 21. Pistons playing Miami tomorrow. Just 2 finals in the NBA tonight. 76ers beat the Hornets 109-101, and Milwaukee beat Utah 114-104. The 7-3 Bucks pulled into a first-place tie with the 6-2 Pistons. Fred Roberts' fine performance here. He gets spun around, but still sinks the layoff. Roberts, aggressive to the hoop, drives right past 7'4" Mark Eaton. And again, Roberts tears through the lane. The Bucks look like serious contenders to the Pistons, at least here in the early going. National League East champion Pittsburgh Pirates completed a sweep of postseason awards as Barry Bonds wins the National League MVP. Bonds, irate that he lost in arbitration before the season, played with great purpose at .301, 33 homers and 114 RBIs, joins his manager Jim Leyland and Cy Young winner Doug Drabek as the league's major award winners. He also stole 52 bases to make the 30-homer, 30-steal club. Only 13 have done that, including his father, Bobby, who did it no fewer than 5 times. Well, Cecil Fielder finds out tomorrow if it is him or Ricky Henderson for the AL MVP. Fielder is back in town after his trip to Japan and was, of all places, on top of the riverfront apartments today, where the construction was put on hold so Cecil could try to hit one off the roof onto a barge in the river with the premise of handing out hundreds of turkeys to the needy. He and Chet Lemon, his honorary catcher, would race to the wall each time to see if he had nailed the barge. The big question, though, is the race between Cecil and Ricky to be decided tomorrow. You truly think it's a toss-up and nobody knows at this point?
Well, I don't know, like I say, I'm not the one voting. I have nothing to do with it, so I'm really not going to get myself all wound up into who's going to, be chosen. But again, I feel, both of us had those type seasons, and whoever wins, it's going to be congratulations. And, that's all we can really do.
In itself, him playing in Japan last year and coming over and doing what he did here in the major leagues in itself is a story. And then, like you said, the way he finished up in New York, needing to hit a home run the last day of the season. I mean, it's a dream year. What can you ask? You couldn't have drew it up any better than that. If you had a script, you couldn't have did it any better.
Jets excited, kind of like a turtle in the hair here. Henderson, the greatest base stealer in history, while Big Cecil has nary a steal in his entire major league career. NFL reinstated Dexter Manley after his lifetime ban for drug abuse. The Redskins, though, immediately put him on waivers. And 2 of the most valuable lines this year have been oft-injured Rodney Peete and Chris Spielman, who yesterday in New York may have been the best Lion on a bad day. Although they all hurt as professionals, of course, they all must play on. And watch Rodney here coming up behind Chris. They all stay in each other's cases, especially when they're doing interviews.
Morale's low, but you can't feel sorry for yourself. In this league, you got to get ready to play again. And we were devastated. And hey, can I do my interview, Rodney? Work your leg or something, man. God, man. Rodney ain't played in 9 years and he's gone.
All in good nature there.
Was that bleeping there for a reason?
His voice just kind of falls up a few times.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Eli. Well, we'll be serving up the mashed potatoes and the cranberries in just a few days, and also celebrating Christmas in a month.
And the Detroit people are beginning the season all aglow. We're going to take you to the fun when we come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
They laughed when I put my roast in the microwave. Poor Celeste, they said. She doesn't know a microwave's for warming leftovers, not cooking real food. But they didn't know about the MagnaWave Perfection microwave roaster. It's some revolutionary development. And it cooks and browns beef and pork and chicken and stuff perfectly. In the microwave. So 35 minutes later, when I put my roast on the table looking perfect, they weren't laughing. I was.
Now available in smaller model for compact microwave ovens.
I used to get real emotional during football season. So now I wear turtlenecks to all the games, because it's hard to get upset wearing something so soft and snuggly.
Fumble!
Yeah, see? I'm calm.
Coach looks upset.
What a shame. You know, Coach could use a turtleneck.
He just benched our son.
A really tight turtleneck.
High Sierra, only at Mervyn's, for the clothes you love to live in.
Coming from Orion Home Video, the future of law enforcement returns.
Think it over, creep.
With a vengeance. RoboPower is back. RoboCop 2, rated R, coming December 13th. Also from Orion, he's irreverent, irrational, and irresponsible. Robin Williams, Tim Robbins.
Hello?
Cadillac Man. Rated R, now available on video cassette.
Slightly confused about which lease to go with? Friendly Jeep Eagle announces the real lease. No down payment, low payments. Just $211 a month gives you your choice of a 91 Wrangler S or Eagle Summit with the real lease. Only $211 a month, and you choose the vehicle. Or take the all-new Cherokee 4-door for only $316 a month. Only the real lease can give you this. An all-new Cherokee, only $316 a month. You owe it to yourself to check out the real lease and see for yourself why Detroit's best deals come from Jim Reel's Friendly Jeep Eagle. Downtown Detroit's already aglow with the bright lights of Christmas. The city's official Christmas tree and other lights in the downtown area were turned on late this afternoon. Then later, many people got into the holiday spirit at the Fox Theater. Plenty of holiday music there, supplied by the Detroit Symphony Orchestra and students from the Burton International School Choir. We're starting a little late this year, aren't we?
I'm not ready for it.
Get out there. Bye. That's all the news that fits.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. Night Court coming up next. You have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
JCPenney's Eastland Mall store has been totally remodeled. To celebrate, you save up to 50% at every store during the JCPenney Eastland Celebration Sale.
What's big? What's bigger? What's even bigger? It's Art Van's big 8-hour pre-holiday sale. We'll close Tuesday until 3 p.m. to mark down prices and reopen from 3 to 11 p.m. with incredible savings. Save 25 to 66% store-wide. Hurry, just 8 hours to save big.
A good car, the Honda Accord, no doubt about it. But this Plymouth Acclaim has more interior room, a larger engine, a longer powertrain warranty. It carries more people, has an airbag, and it costs $1,500 less than Accord. Now, we're not saying that the Accord is second rate, merely second best.
Now, get cashback savings or low APR financing on new 91 models.
Hard Copy brings home the hard facts, weeknights at 7.